YouTube, what's up, guys? This is Spencer Spain back with another update on my distal bicep tendon recovery. So, as you can tell from the title of the video, I am post-op 3 weeks and I'm feeling great, guys. I mean, honestly, I have all the feeling and sensation in my arm. As you can tell, compared to this arm is really small. I haven't done any resistance or weight training on this arm thus far. I will tell you though, each day my arm feels better and better each day. Again, most days, and it's the only time I take it out of the sling is when I'm sitting down. So most of the time I have it in the sling, and I only take it out when I'm showering or if I want to do some exercises with it. And the exercise I will demonstrate for you in a second. Now, before I demonstrate those exercises, I would like to tell you, I have seen a lot of fitness guys tear their biceps, man. A lot of guys. Eddie Hall just recently tore his, and he's back to doing some training, which is crazy, and I'm going to get on that too. Some other guys I've seen, fitness guys, tearing their biceps left and right. I don't understand. And what's crazy about that is, you know, I'm 33, I'll be 34 in October. As a couple guys, they were around the same age. This is why it's so crazy to me to see this. But hey, it makes me feel not good or bad, but it makes me feel not so bad that I'm not the only one going through this who was an avid fitness junkie. You know, that's the only caveat I take from this. Now, you know, what I've done thus far and what I've seen thus far is there are some guys that in between that 2 to 3 week mark are doing some fairly aggressive rehab. I personally, as aggressive as I would like to get back to it, I'm going to take my time, guys. So what I've done thus far, starting at about, if this is the 3rd week, I started probably midpoint of last week, just doing some stretching with the arm, just assisting it down, coming back up. And see, like I couldn't do this last week, but now I'm at the point where I can come up and down with the arm, assist it, right? So it's not bad. It doesn't hurt. I have no pain doing this at all. At this point, you know, the only thing I feel now at this point is the scar tissue up in my scar. And I haven't started massaging that out yet. I haven't started. I'm just stretching. I don't want to do any real trauma, any real damage to the scar tissue yet. I just want to just do all this stretching. And now at this point, I can pretty much straighten it out. This is about as far as I go without pain. But then if I just keep working it, and when I say sensation, not pain, I feel like a little sensation. And that's just that scar tissue. I haven't decided to start breaking it up yet. But it's coming, guys. I mean, realistically, if you do this at around the 2.5 week mark, and there's another caveat to that too, guys. I've only got the one scar here at the forearm. Now, if you had to have that scar here at your bicep arm area, as well as this scar, they probably had to move some nerves around in your arm, which will put you at a much more strenuous rehab. Like you would have to delay your rehab a lot longer because moving nerves around, like I when they took the cast off, I had feeling in every part of my arm, every aspect of my arm. I could feel everything. I had no issues with nerves. I had no issues with any of that. So for me, I felt good about, you know, okay, these guys that have started their aggressive rehab, they must have had no nerve damage, no nerve issues, no issues with that. So be careful when you look on YouTube and you see guys that have started their rehab aggressively. Again, I haven't been doing, not even 1 pound curls I haven't been doing. I haven't done any of that with this arm. All I've done is slight stretching. And that's it. This is it. And I'm telling you, man, this feels good. Now, I do lean. Like I told y'all in the last video, I lean a lot. Like when I'm eating, if I'm just sitting down, I lean a lot. And that's working the back part of my shoulder and tricep. My shoulder's coming back. I mean, it's coming back good. When I say coming back, it's starting to feel not so soft. It's not so soft. Whereas this arm, and I can pick this arm up, I can do stuff with it now. I can do this, no weight. Because when I have my sling, I started to notice about a couple days ago, I'm doing stuff with the arm, I'm helping my hand out. So that's about the most I'm doing thus far with my arm. Now I will get to what I've seen other guys do. I have witnessed other guys at the 2 to 3 week mark doing some fairly aggressive stuff. Guys, I will go off a feel first. Start with stretching, see how that feels. I personally wouldn't do any strenuous weight-bearing things until probably the 4.5, 5 week mark. And when I say that, I mean like more aggressive, just one arm stuff. It just depends on the feel too, guys. I just want to make sure that bone is healed completely before I start doing anything strenuous, any stress or strain on that particular area. Me personally, because I again never taken any steroids, never taken any performance enhancers. I'm about the same size. I'm down to 250. I was at 265 when I got injured, and I'm down to 250 now. I've been doing biking. I have a Sony exercise bike, the B1986 exercise bike. I'm up to doing at least an hour and a half on that. I do a 40-minute exercise in the morning, eat some breakfast, come back and do another 20 minutes. Then I do some kettlebell swings with one arm, just deep squat, stuff like that. And that's really and then I do abs, try to keep myself, my core strong. Then I do some more biking. So I do about an hour and a half, and I'll break it up and like that for the rest. And I'm doing it on pretty high resistance, guys, because I got to feel pain in some capacity. That's how I hurt myself, because I chase after that myself. It's the high I choose to go after. I love that feeling of exhaustion in that way. So, and I'm now taking more precautions with that too. I ice my knees, ice my calves, ice my Achilles and stuff like that to keep myself fresh to be able to do this every day. So, it's always do more ab work. It's always things you can do to, push yourself physically. But guys, don't see, these guys are doing some fairly aggressive stuff, guys. I mean, I personally wouldn't be doing what Eddie Hall is doing at this point. If you're familiar with him and what he's done over the last 2 weeks, I'm like, bro, what kind of recovery, what did they give you? Of course, he got the PRP injections, which is good. Helps with the healing process. But of course, guys, if you're taking your vitamins, you're taking your fish oils, you're taking the things necessary to keep your body in the, nutrient-rich foods like the fruits and vegetables you should be eating anyway, then you should be fine as far as your recovery. Again, if you have to have the endo button technique like most of us have had to have, they drilled into your bone, so your bone does have some trauma. Not a lot, because they didn't drill a big hole in your arm, in your bone. So it's not like it's that much, but the first 2 weeks, I wouldn't really be doing too much, guys. Only into the 2.5 week mark did I even start stretching my arm out. And just recently did I feel good enough to just start bringing my arm up to, and as you can see, that forearm's starting to come back now. It's still a little soft, but it's starting to come back. And I'm feeling good about that, guy. That to me is enough progress for me. I'm not trying to, I do want to get back to lifting what I was lifting, guys. I mean, but I know I'm just going to rest and take my time with it. It's not that big a deal to me. Again, as long as I can bike and do that and not stress about that, I'm fine. I love my exercise bike. I love being able to use my kettlebells and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. So I want you to understand. I understand if you like me, you aggressively want to get back to it. I get that. Just go off of feel. The first 4 weeks, I personally am not going to do any resistance or weight training. I'm not. I just don't feel. I don't want to re-injure myself at all. It's not like I'm coming back to do a competition right in the next 3 months or 6 months. So, if anything, I'm trying to protect myself from injuring this bicep. If anything, I don't want to injure this arm in any capacity, or back, hips. So, I'm going to start icing even more of my whole body once I get this arm healthier, because I now know I have to do that more before I do anything else. I iced before, but I would just ice my knees, just after a heavy squat day. I wouldn't ice my whole body. But guys, just be careful with what you're doing. I appreciate you tuning in with me, following my journey. It's been rough. And again, it's crazy because I've seen so many guys tear their bicep like a month before me, a week after me, a couple weeks after me. I'm like, God, how these guys? It is one of my good friends from college tore his bicep like 6 months ago, and he's back to doing what he normally would be doing. He's looking good. So, guys, just know it. Understand that it's a process. We're all trying to be the very best versions of ourselves, and I know you can't wait to get back to it. But just be careful. Be careful with your training. Be careful with your rehab. It's gonna come. Just be mindful of yourself, and just know I care for you. Because if you're watching this video, I know you didn't hurt yourself, and I'm sorry that you did. Just rest, relax the first 2 weeks. And again, if you didn't have to have that extra, if you had to have this extra scar to pull that bicep to this point to have them, you need to not do that for 10 weeks, like they say, because they move nerves, they did all that. If you were lucky enough to just have this one scar, you know, it's a feel thing. And again, they still may have moved some nerves in that process. So, you know, because you're going to know. You're going to be like, well, I have a feeling right here. Oh, no. And see, now I can kind of turn my hand. You know, I turn it a little more. It's not so bad. They say I shouldn't have been doing that. But again, guys, you know, you're going off a field. I have no pain doing that. And this is just 3 weeks. So, you know, again, I don't do it all the time. I don't do it all day. Most of the day, I have my arm in this sling. Most of the day. Only 3 or 4 times out the day do I take it out and let it sit. Because, you know, I just want to take the precaution. I do find myself doing too much, cooking for myself, doing this, that, and the third. You know, I still got to cut the yard. Still got to weed eat with one arm. That's why I don't lift weights right now. Because I'm like, after you weed eat with one arm, you're going to be hurting. I had to set that thing down. I go for 5 minutes and then have to set that thing down and pick it back up. And then, you know, set it back down because that forearm working. So, guys know, life is crazy, bro. Sis, ma'am, sir, life is crazy. We all go through stuff. I hate you had to go through it. I hate I had to go through it. And I didn't even have insurance. But luckily, I had the money to pay out of pocket for my surgery, guys. I paid for most of it. I had to pay, like, I owed, at this point, it's $8,000, guys, where I'm from in Mississippi. And so I had to pay like $6,000 up front, which was fine with me because I'm like, I need to get back to health. And I did it to myself. So shit, come on, let's go. Fix it. Fix it now. So, you know, just take your time rehabbing. The first 2 weeks, again, guys, don't do nothing. Just let your arm do what it's going to do. I personally wouldn't be doing what some of the guys I've seen on YouTube do for the first 2 weeks. You know, after that 2.5 week mark, if you didn't have any nerve damage, then you could probably start working your arm. But again, it's a feel thing, bro. Sis, you can do what you want to do, you know, but just be careful. I don't want you to re-injure yourself. I don't want to get re-injured. So I'm just being real careful, be mindful of those things. But all in all, my spirits are pretty high. I'm feeling pretty good. Good things are happening for me outside of that too. So I'm just thankful for those things also, guys. You know, other than that, guys, please be careful. One love. Be safe. Work hard.